Let's take a look at some improvements Toyota has made to the new Tacoma under the hood. Before we start that though, there is one big disappointment in the front, and that is this nasty skid plate they have under here. I think they really let us down there. It's like a, I don't know, like a cloth, plastic, fiber, I don't know what it is, but it's horrible. Anyway, under the hood, one of the biggest things I like, well, other than the four-cylinder turbo, of course, is the way they have everything set up. You know, they kind of changed things around a little bit under here, and I think they actually made almost everything better. You know, we've got the battery over here right on the side, nice and easy to get to, right on the edge. Now, it's not so vastly different as far as accessibility goes as to what they had before. Of course, the battery used to be over there, but it's closer to the side, much easier when you need to pull it down the road or hook things up to it like I have here with the aux beam switch. Of course, we've got the air filter right here. You need to change your air filter, 2 clips, pop it up, and you are good to go. I like that rather than having it kind of, I don't know, it was a bigger, more cumbersome application before, at least in my experience. Moving on, we've got radiator fluid here, nice and easy to access. You can see it really easily on the side here as to whether it's full or not. I like that. We've got windshield wiper fluid right here in the front, very easy to connect with. Very easy to add when you need to, and this is probably, should be, one of the only things that you're ever really going to need to add anything to, other than changing the oil, of course. And then we've got brake fluid right up here in the front. This is easily accessible, and of course you can see on the sides whether or not you're full or not. Very easy to mess with. Fuses, they did add a second fuse panel. I'm not exactly sure why. We've got relays and fuses here, and then we've got relays and fuses over there underneath the aux beam switch panel. Now, I mentioned there's one thing under here that I'm not a huge fan of, and that would be where the dipstick is. It's kind of hard to reach, and it's even worse now because it's lifted. Reaching it from the front for me is virtually impossible. I mean, I could lean all the way over the truck and try to pull it out. I mean, I could barely reach it if I was doing that and didn't have a camera in my hand. Of course, from the side, not such a problem. I can reach it obviously from over here if I need to and pull it up. So they still gave me a nice area to, I guess, be able to reach. Now, the only thing that I would have maybe done a little differently on this truck, first of all, let me say, I am glad that they moved the hood strut or the hood rod over here to the right instead of having it in the middle. No longer is it in the way. We have this nice open area to be able to do things if you want to. I like that. But with that dipstick being there, we now have to contend with the hood rod. I keep wanting to say hood strut. We will have those, so I guess maybe it'll sort of go away. I will have a strut coming down here, so it's probably not going to get much better. But if this were located on the other side, let's say right over here, we really wouldn't have anything in the way, I guess, except for the air filter. And frankly, I'm probably just as likely to check this, I guess, as I am the oil. So half a dozen of one, the other, right? So not that big of a deal for me. Otherwise, of course, the engine is different. Everything else under here is different as well. I like the new setup. Ergonomically for me, I think it works really, really well. The one thing, or the other thing, I guess, than the strut and the oil dipstick that I'm disappointed with is they've kind of taken away our ability to do any easy modifications on the front with the grille work. No longer can you just remove, if you remember, those 4 or 6, whatever it is, fasteners on the top and simply pull that grille off. Now you have to actually remove the whole front end to be able to get the grill off, and you have to contend with the shutters. There are electronic shutters behind that grill, so you're going to have to mess with those too if you want to do anything in the form of changing out the grill. Something that I am looking at doing. I think in the interim, probably going to paint or change this emblem somehow. There is an easy way to get this off. I made a video about how to do that. It's pretty darn simple. Otherwise, the rest of the truck, still digging it, still love it. I think it looks awesome. I may change the mirror caps. I may go with black on these. I've done that in the past. I kind of like that look. Everything else I think is set up really nice. We don't have any major chrome on here. Matter of fact, other than, I guess, the white reflectors, which aren't chrome, but yeah, they have a chrome look to them. We don't really have any chrome anywhere on this version, and I like that. Kudos to Toyota for getting rid of any chrome, right? I think they've blacked it out nicely. Now, I do have the blackout package, of course, on this truck, but all that really means is it's got black letters in the tailgate. I removed the badging that was on the truck. There used to be Tacoma up here on the sides. That had a black badge to it, and that's it. Everything else is already chrome free, and I dig that. I think it's pretty cool. Even the tail lights, all they included really was the white reflectors back here. Of course, you need that probably for backup lights, I guess. I did add my own extra backup light down here. We still have the single light. We used to have two. That's a change. We have the single light down here on the side to light up your license plate, I suppose. I wish they would have done away with that altogether, but I suppose legally they have to have something there to go ahead and light up your plate. One other thing I want to mention, you may notice there are some D-rings back here. That is an aftermarket mod that I added. I think Toyota probably should add something like that themselves. They are connected to a frame member under there, so they are functional, only limited by, I suppose, the max towing or pulling capacity of the D-rings themselves. I think Toyota should add that. I think it just makes for a really a more aggressive look to the back of the truck. By the way, one more thing I need to do. You can kind of see the exhaust peeking out there, the silver. Need to hit that with a rattle can, paint it black. I've done that before on other vehicles like the wife's Jeep Wrangler up here. Just makes it kind of blend in a little bit more, and I think it would look much better on the truck. Anyway, leave a comment. Let me know. Do you find that this truck is more accessible under the hood? Toyota made it easier to check the things that you should be checking as opposed to what we had in the third gen. Leave a comment. I'd be curious to know what you think. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there. Bye.